Old habits. Master Commander Carter Rose walked toward the briefing room on Station Alpha, with his XO in lockstep at his side. The news of the Aternien invasion of Terra 6 was still rattling around his brain like a pinball, but with his warship the longsword Galatine still little more than a wreck, he was powerless to do anything about it. All he could do was gather what remained of his biologically and technologically augmented crew, those who had survived the last 100 years ostracized from Union society, and prepare for war. "Do we even need to attend this briefing?" Major Karina Larson complained. She was struggling to keep pace with him, to the point where she was almost jogging. "The specifics of the invasion don't matter to us. We need to find the rest of your old crew." "I want to know how bad the situation is," Carter grunted, maintaining his furious pace. "The Aterniens are merely dipping their toes in the water to test our capabilities. If we fail to stop them at Terra 6, they will only grow bolder, and future invasions will come harder and faster." "All the more reason why we need to get the Galatine ready," his XO countered. Carter stopped dead at the entrance to the briefing room. It was so sudden that Karina almost ran into him, and her boots screeched across the polished metal deck plates as she halted. He was about to open the door, but paused and looked his human first officer in the eyes. "To fight the Aterniens, we need to know how they've changed and adapted in the centuries since I last faced them. Sometimes war requires patience, even when every cell in your body is screaming at you to act." Karina blew out a sigh and nodded, though she was hopping on the spot and rubbing the backs of her hands, as if she were about to enter an important interview. He gently took hold of her shoulders and used his own genetically enhanced muscles to absorb her nervous energy, like a mass damper keeping a skyscraper steady during an earthquake. "There will be more than enough time to fight, Karina," Carter said. "Soon enough, you'll wish for calmer moments like these. Trust me, I know." The door to the briefing room opened, and Admiral Clara Krantz appeared behind it. She looked at them with curious eyes, and Carter quickly removed his hands from his XO's shoulders, as if caught in an embarrassing moment. "Is everything okay?" Krantz asked. There was an unusual degree of concern in the Admiral's normally hard-edged voice, and Carter couldn't help but notice that she had directed the question to his XO, rather than himself. "We're all good, Admiral," Karina replied, straightening to attention. "We're just keen to learn more about the invasion and get on with our mission." "Good," Krantz said, with more of her usual pep. "Then come inside. The rest of the team is already assembled." Carter invited his XO to enter first, and she huffed a laugh and bowed like a medieval courtier before accepting his offer. Karina may have mocked his chivalric gesture, but Carter didn't have a problem with his old-fashioned habits. After all, he was considerably more than a century older than anyone else in the room. Carter entered last, and the door thumped shut behind him, as if announcing his arrival. It didn't take long for all eyes in the room to fall